Hi guys, it's Mark Zickrey, Mr. Sci-Fi, and I'm here to talk about Star Trek Picard Season 3. Now, many of you know that I, of course, came up with stories for Star Trek The Next Generation First Contact, the episode, and also for Deep Space Nine's Far Beyond the Stars, and I co-wrote and directed and executive produced Star Trek New Voyages, World Enough in Time, starring George Takei, sorry, yikes, and Majel Barrett Roddenberry and Grace Lee Whitney and the wonderful Christina Moses, among others, and a wonderful experience. And since then, I've worked with many of the Star Trek actors, including Robert Picardo and Nichelle Nichols, and just on and on, Doug Jones. And before I get going with my review of Season 3 of Picard, the first 2 episodes, which I've seen, I should mention we have a Kickstarter campaign going. I've listed it just down there below. Please throw some money our way. We are actively shooting the final part of Hour 6 of Space Command, the 2-hour story Space Command Forgiveness. And if you are not a subscriber to Mr. Sci-Fi, subscribe now, because the next video I'm about to post is a big deal. You will definitely want to see that. Okay, guys, so, just a word to the wise. And also, we're selling Space Command shares, so get in touch with us on that. And we are shooting. The reason I'm scruffy is because we are in active prep. We are shooting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on Stage 3, our big stage, on the alien spaceship set with our actors, including Ethan McDowell and Ferran Tahir and John Hennigan, and it's going to be a great time. And one of our perks in the Kickstarter campaign is you can come on set and watch us shoot. And maybe we'll even put you in a pilgrim's robe and you can be on camera. Wow, amazing. So, but let's talk for a few moments about the Star Trek series that are on Paramount Plus, particularly Picard Season 3. Now, I've posted many videos about these different Star Trek shows. I haven't watched the animated ones, and I understand those ones are better. Great. But Discovery has disappointed me, and Strange New Worlds has been very up and down. It has a great cast, great potential, but so many of the episodes are a lost opportunity. And Picard, I bailed in the middle of Season 2, just couldn't do it anymore. And the same with Discovery. I just get to a point where I just can't anymore. It's like the plots are so twisty-turny, and this is, you can check the other videos where I've complained about how they are really missing an opportunity to do something wonderful. The sets are always great. Costumes are really good. VFX are fine, not brilliant, but fine. Stuff starts to look very CG. I'm in what we're doing in Space Command now is building creatures and building alien spaceship sets and things like that. We've got a giant robot, because again, if you look at the Marvel movies, it all just looks like the same texture, the same kind of stuff. It has no solidity. It's it's just reached sort of a point where it just kind of takes you out of the picture rather than putting you in it. But that said, let's talk about Picard Season 3. I've watched the first 2 episodes, and I have got my fingers crossed, because so far they're doing a spectacular job. It's just amazing. The characters are working, the story's tracking. It's got Jeopardy. Picard is a commanding figure. Riker's in there. I mean, it's just really what we all hoped Picard would be. And I really pray that they take it to fruition. This is the final season of Picard. But let's just walk through it a little bit. I'll try not to have too many spoilers, or any if I can. But here's what we can talk about. First of all, the problem I had with Patrick Stewart in the previous seasons was he was so passive, and he seemed worn out and tired. In this episode, he's commanding, he's inventive, he's Picard again. He's the Picard we've wanted to see. And by bringing the core cast back, it's just surrounding him with people that we've come to love, with actors we've come to love, with characters we've come to love. See, this was also the problem in the previous seasons of Picard. It was like, who are these new characters? They're not grounded. We're not buying into them the way we would with Worf or Riker or Geordi or Data. These are characters we spent 7 years really getting to know and really coming to care about, because the writing was terrific and the direction and the acting back then in the original show. And so So but that said, okay, let me walk through it and get into specifics. It's wonderful. If you haven't watched it, watch it. If you don't want to subscribe to Paramount Plus, well, you can subscribe for a week or whatever for free. But check it out. It's really 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 good. If you like the better Star Trek movies, the best Star Trek movies like Star Trek First Contact or Wrath of Khan, which is probably my favorite. uh and this is back to form. This feels like a Star Trek feature. It really does, and it's at a production level way beyond what the original series was, and it's really at the level of a feature. Paramount's pouring money into this, you can tell. So Patrick Stewart is great. Jonathan Frakes is terrific, and he looks really good. See, this is another thing. The actors look really good. It's many of them have aged very very well. Gates McFadden is beautiful. She's in Sweet Haven, the new show I'm creating with Rockne O'Bannon, and she's a wonderful actress. But again, to see her as Beverly Crusher, terrific, and even Michelle Hurd, the character of Raffi. You see, the problem with that character has always been for me that if you set someone up as a drug addict, then the question is, will they fall off the wagon? Won't they fall off the wagon? It's very much a one-trick pony as a character, and so I've never really bought into that character. She's distanced from her children and blah blah blah. It's like, well, these are cliches of that kind of character. These are not interesting character developments. These are not there's nothing fresh there as far as I'm concerned. But the actress is solid, and at least in this episode, in this storyline, she's with Starfleet intelligence, and it's all very mysterious. Cool, cool, cool. And Ed Spielers, who plays Jack Crusher, a new character, Beverly's son, with a mysterious past, is fun, interesting, good actor. Seeing Michael Dorn again as Worf is terrific, of course. Seeing all of these characters coming back is quite wonderful, and really working. So far they're really using them to advantage. Now the challenge, of course, with Star Trek, speaking as someone who was able to come up with stories that expanded on what Star Trek had done, you always have to look at the mythology and try not to just repeat what's gone before. Very difficult, very very difficult. I succeeded at it 3 times, but it is you really have to be at the top of your game. So there's certain riffs that they're playing that were explored in Star Trek The Wrath of Khan with Kirk, and we have the Mutara Nebula kind of gag at the end of the second episode of Picard. But those are small things. I mean, the Jack Crusher character, we'll see if Wesley turns up or not. We definitely say, where's Wesley? But another character who was not, he was the one character in the original Star Trek, the Next Generation, who I thought was very ill used, not well used. But we'll see. But definitely so far this story is working really really well, and it's fun. They have a Ferengi who's really cool, and that scene works very very well. And though I doubt he'll be back, just not to spoil it, but you'll see what I'm talking about when you see the episode. Todd Stanwyck is Stashwick, plays Captain Shaw. He's sort of a wishy-washy Starfleet captain, but in a way that we haven't seen before. Very well written and acted. He was a regular on 12 Monkeys, the TV show, and since I didn't watch that show, he wasn't familiar to me. But he's really, really good. And Jerry Ryan, is terrific. She's one of my favorite Star Trek actors. Just phenomenal. And you watch her and you say, for God's sake, give that woman her own starship. I mean, really, really, really. And maybe that's what they're setting this up to do. I hope so, because I would love to see a Jerry Ryan Star Trek series. But beyond that, there was this very enigmatic female enemy ship captain, kind of bounty hunterish person, and really good actress. I was wondering, who is she? She looks familiar but older. There's so many actresses and actors that we grew up with and we haven't seen them for 20 or 30 years, and then it's like, wow, really? So that's Amanda Plummer. Now Amanda Plummer is the daughter of Christopher Plummer, who of course was very memorable as the Klingon Chang in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. So this is generational Star Trek characters, which is, so she's not playing the daughter of that character, but she is the daughter of the actor who played that character. And she's a wonderful and very quirky actress in her own right. I first became aware of her in Courtship, which was a movie written by Horton Foote, who also wrote the screenplay of To Kill a Mockingbird. It was based on a 9-play cycle that he wrote. She played a character based on his sister, and she was, or I guess, wait, let me think about it for a minute. Based on one of his aunts, and she was very, very good in that. And so I then followed her in a lot of other movies. She was in Pulp Fiction, many other things. And she's the daughter of Christopher Plummer and an actress named Tammy Grimes, who, if you know that name, you know that she was very distinctive as well, and quite a wonderful actress. So, you know, it's I have no negative things to say about this, other than perhaps, why is the Starship Bridge so dark? It's like you wonder why people aren't saying, turn on some lights here. The way they're shooting starships now is the interiors are very dark, and they have short focus, so everything's kind of blurry in the background, which I suppose gives you more production value, because certainly on the previous incarnations of Star Trek, things were tended to be very brightly lit, particularly Star Trek The Next Generation and the original Star Trek. So maybe they're trying to stand out on their own, or make things that have, you know, they're kind of a little creaky, not show their flaws, but it works, but you just kind of wonder why nobody turns on a flashlight. But but I'm really hoping this stays great, because so far it really is. It's what we all wanted Picard to be, both the actor and the character and the show. And you know, it's sort of like the new characters that they're setting up in all these different Star Trek incarnations. Really, you know, they don't quite resonate for various reasons. We've talked about that, but this show's really sticking it, and I hope they stick the landing. But I'm really enjoying it, and that's been a while since I've been able to say that about one of these shows. And so that's it for now. I love these actors. I hope to work with many of them. I know most of them. I've met Patrick Stewart. I know Jonathan Frakes, on and on. But they're wonderful people. They deserve the fame they have. When I was story editing Friday the 13th, the series on the Paramount lot, I saw the entire cast having lunch often in the executive dining room where I had lunch, and they would be in costume and in full makeup. And this is before the show aired, so it was really quite a treat to see them all together and being such friends to each other. And I look forward to seeing what comes. And it's whatever they're doing it right. So far, so good. And let's hope it becomes one of the great classics of Star Trek. Let's hope it really, really continues at this level of quality. The twists and turns are fun, and it's like taking a journey with old friends. And that's about it for now. So again, go to our Kickstarter campaign. If you want to buy Space Command shares, please contact me. We need the money to finish shooting the full season of Space Command, and there's a lot more to come. Armin Shimmerman is waiting in the wings, Christina Moses, many other wonderful actors that you love as well as I do, and Ethan Phillips, many surprises to come. So that's about it for now. We'll talk again real soon, and definitely subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You will definitely want to see the next video that I'm posting. Take care, everybody. Talk soon.